Hey guys, Jason with Starkey here, and today I'll be installing our Fender Vent lighting kit for all 2023 and up Super Duties. This product is going to fit any factory Fender vent on the 2023 and up Super Duty, regardless of trim. One thing you want to note when you order is what headlight type you have. We have a plug-and-play adapter for every variation. In this case, we're working on a halogen headlight truck today. The best thing about this product is the fact that it is completely plug-and-play, and it's going to act as a parking light and turn signal. Let's jump right into the install. We've got our custom headlight adapters. These will look a little bit different depending on which version headlight you have and which kit you ordered. We've got our parts bag with all necessary hardware. We've got the lamp connections, which are going to plug into those adapters I just showed you. These are the park and turn modules that tell the light what to do and when. And then finally, we've got the LED lamps themselves, which are going to mount in the fenders. The first thing we need to do are remove the fender vents themselves so that we can mount the lights. If you don't have a set of trim removal tools, for 10 bucks, I'd highly recommend picking up a set. It's going to make this removal much easier. The vents themselves are held on by a total of 6 clips. You're going to find those here, 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 and here. And I'm going to go ahead and start taking this off right now. Going to slide this in, and I'll show this to you a little bit closer when we get this off. But so what you want to do is get the pry tools behind either side of the gray clip and kind of compress them inwards, which allows them to release from the fender more easily. Sometimes working them in can take a little bit of work. There we go. Got the first 2 off. I'm going to move down to this guy, which runs along this way. So all right. And now I'm going to move down to a clip that's right behind the top side of the 0 here. Then I'm going to move down. There's a clip right about here. And it runs this direction. It's probably the trickiest of them all in terms of applying pressure on either side. But we're going to do it. I'm going to try the forked end in this case. There we go. That was much easier. You just kind of got to release that pressure. Last but not least, this is a little trickier because if you have somebody to help you hold this, make your life easier. So I'm depressing, and I'm going to and that one just released. It didn't even pop. So you can see I've got this off, and you'll notice where the clips line up with the slots in the fender itself. What I was doing was attempting to depress the 2 ridges on either side of this clip. And it's a little difficult to illustrate, but essentially I'm sort of squeezing and prying. And that's what you're attempting to do. You can also get the forked tools in, and you see they start to depress the clips. You can also kind of wobble them this way. That's a good method for starting out. But these little tricks are going to make this much easier. And we're going to jump to the other side now. I'm ready to mount the lights, but before I do, I'm going to grab one of the included alcohol prep wipes, and I'm going to wipe down this surface here, this lip. Just make sure it's nice and clean so that the lamps adhere properly. All right, we'll let that dry. I've got the hood open, and I've got one of the LED lamp assemblies in hand. These are left hand equals right hand, so it doesn't matter which one you grab. The first thing I'm going to do is route the light here with the wiring facing up right into the fender. We're just going to let it hang out there for a while. And then I'm going to reach in from the hood, and you can see my left hand, I'm going to grab the connector and just pull it up through. Now some trucks have this insulation pad you may see. It isn't really a hindrance. It moves out of the way, and actually it's not even glued on or fixed, so it's pretty easy to work with. We're going to draw this wiring back up through until we get the lamp to right around that area we cleaned earlier. And the first thing we're going to do is take off just this top strip of adhesive backing on the LED itself, and I'm going to reach in from this side so I can hold it a little better. Pull that off. This is thermal grade adhesive, which is definitely what you want on a project like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to adhere that, and you're kind of centering it. And you can see the LEDs are designed perfectly for this location. Now, before we take the adhesive backing off of these lower sections, I want you to just depress this right here. And what that does is that just manipulates the LED strip a little bit so that when you reinstall the fender vent light later, or excuse me, I'm sorry, the fender vent itself later, the clip doesn't catch that metal piece. And that's totally fine, not gonna mess up the LED in any way. I'm gonna hold this top part in place and just kind of get my hand under here, pull this back, and then make sure your insulation pad's not in the way. And you're just gonna adhere this like so. Real nice. And then we're just gonna make sure we press on the other section and just keep it going down all the way. Just press that on. Make sure it's nice and tight all the way up. And now our lamp is installed. All right, I'm going to repeat the process on the passenger side. Again, just reaching in from the hood. I'm going to grab that connector, pull it back through. We'll mount the module here in a minute. And I've got my light aligned now. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the adhesive backing just for the top part here. And you're just going to want to kind of line this up approximately where you want it to be. And center this top piece because it kind of sets the standard for the rest. And again, we're going to just hold the lamp here and apply some downward pressure to the LED strip itself. And just make sure that it's going to clear the fender vent. We'll try something different on this side. I'll just pull both strips off at the same time. Got that top spot in play. And I'm going to just depress this. Press that into place. And we are all set. Light is installed. Before I make the connection at the headlight, I'm going to mount the park and turn module. I'm going to mount it right here on this surface, but really you could mount it anywhere on the fender or under here, any spot that makes sense for you. And we're all set. I'm at the front driver's side fender, and I'm going to remove some hardware to peel back the wheel well liner. I don't need to remove it completely. I just want to pull it back enough so that I can gain access to the backside of the headlight. There is a push pin here that I need to remove. There's a 5.5mm bolt here, and then there's a 10mm bolt right here. Gonna switch to the 10mm. Now I'm gonna pull this back. Give us a really good view. All right, I've got our headlight adapter in hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in to the lamp. And then I'm going to drop this wiring down and show you below what's going on. All right, so I'm back down in the wheel well liner, and I've got our connections here. This is the adapter we just connected. This is the factory wiring. So in the case of this halogen headlight, there are actually 3 different connections that connect to the backside of the headlight. If you have an LED headlight, you're only going to see one large connector that's black like this one. But what I'm going to do just for illustration purposes is show you how simple this is. Basically, this is just going to connect to the light colored existing factory connection, and then I'm going to plug this end back into the headlight itself. And since I also unplugged these, I'll plug those back in as well. It is a tight squeeze on the driver's side, so you are kind of feeling your way up to the connector. The passenger side's a little easier to get to. Got those connections made, so I'm going to button up this wheel well liner and repeat the procedure on the other side. We are back on the driver's side. I've buttoned up all the wiring and I'm ready to reinstall the factory fender vents. Not too much that's complicated here, just make sure your metal clips are in place. And again, make sure that, as instructed earlier, that you had depressed that metal band on the LED strip to make sure that this clip clears when it goes back in. So I'm going to go ahead and snap this in. And we are locked in and all set. I finished installation of the fender vent lighting kit on this Super Duty. The best part of this product is that it is going to be completely plug and play. We have an option for both the halogen and LED headlights, so you'll just want to make sure you select the right kit for you. The other great thing about this is that you're going to get that turn signal functionality in addition to the parking lights. Thank you so much for watching. We're so grateful for your support. Appreciate it.